Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Trail Pass. So as you can see, we have the Outback Wilderness behind me, and it's been actually a little over a year since we purchased this vehicle. So how's it been holding up, and are we satisfied with our purchase? Let's find out. So the Subaru Outback Wilderness, and actually the Wilderness trim in general, there for the Forester and now the Crosstrek, has made a pretty big splash, and I believe has made a pretty good dent into Subaru's sales. So basically what it is a mild lift, some more aggressive all-terrain tires, and an overall just more aggressive looking package to compete with the overland and off-roady lifestyle that everybody wants. So some of the pros and the reason why we purchased this, again, we went over this in a different video, but truthfully, where we live, there is a lot of unpaved roads and unkept roads. We're not really doing a whole lot of off-roading in this vehicle per se, but we do get winter weather. We do live on a road that's not state maintained or anything like that. So having a little bit more ground clearance and those more aggressive tires really is a good option for us. But overall, this is my wife's daily driver. It takes our son to and from daycare, takes my wife to work, and that is what it's used for. We didn't need a Jeep Rubicon for that, and we didn't want to pay for a Jeep Rubicon, and overall, this has been a really good purchase for us. Overall, I know people make fun of all the black plastic cladding on this vehicle, but really, if you've seen any new Subaru or any new crossover or SUV, there's black plastic cladding on pretty much all of them. And while it does have a little bit more plastic on the front bumper and a little bit bigger fender flares there, overall, I really don't think it looks too bad and really makes this vehicle stand out in a parking lot. You know, the Outback is kind of an interesting vehicle. It's driven by anything from you know, young families to grandmas, but I think with the Subaru Outback Wilderness, it does look pretty sweet here. So I mentioned this is my wife's car, and it does have baby duty on the regular basis. And now with my son being just over a year old as well, we are in a front-facing car seat. So he fits in this thing great. It's an even flow. It is one of the convertible ones, so about the biggest car seat that you can get, and one of the safest ones, hopefully. But this thing really fits in the vehicle nicely, and one of the main reasons why we picked the Outback Wilderness over my wife's old RAV4, we just have so much more room in this thing. Also, we can still have the passenger seat in a pretty comfortable position, and it's not slid up so far forward just to make room for the car seat. So a really comfortable layout. A lot of people make fun of these seats for being fake leather, and honestly, I don't think that's what Subaru was going for here. They're kind of textured vinyl, and overall, they're very easy to clean and very comfortable. They don't get hot, they are heated. But overall, a super comfortable interior. And I think it looks really nice with the black and gray and then some of the goldish stitching there. I really like this vehicle, and it's a very comfortable vehicle for day-to-day driving. Also, one thing that's huge about Subaru, and a lot of other Japanese manufacturers are doing this as well, but it does have all of the safety features. It does have the Subaru EyeSight feature there in the windshield, and it does have the adaptive cruise control, and basically any safety feature that you would be looking for here in a modern vehicle, which is very much appreciated. Again, putting my wife and my child in this car every day, the more safety, the better. So looking in the trunk space of the Outback, I didn't clean any of this out intentionally because I wanted to show you exactly how it is the way we use it day to day. So we do have a full-size stroller in here. We also have lots of extra baby paraphernalia, a whole bag of reusable shopping bags, and a whole shopping cart in here. And overall, there's a ton of room left still. You could definitely put your golf bag back here. So whether you're you know, traveling or whether you do have a family, this Outback really has a ton of trunk space for no bigger of a vehicle than it is. It really does drive like a car, but it has so much utility in it. So looking at the original window sticker here for the Outback Wilderness, you can see that the original price here without options is $37,695 for the Wilderness trim. We did add two different packages, which was the navigation system with the power moonroof and reverse automatic braking. That's $1,845, as well as the Wilderness package, upgrade package here, which does have the dome light, the rear seat back protector, cargo sidewall protector, auto dimming rear view mirror, splash guards, and a wireless charger. So overall, that did bring the vehicle price with destination delivery to just over $40,000. And overall, I think that is a really good value for this vehicle. All right, guys, so setting off here in the Subaru Outback Wilderness, A couple things when we went to purchase this vehicle. Again, it is a 2022 model. That was kind of the height of COVID. Very, very difficult to find a new vehicle at the time. So our options were kind of limited. 4Runners were bringing a huge premium, as were Wranglers. And we were actually able to purchase this vehicle at MSRP, which was the main reason why we purchased it. Again, just over $40,000 with basically every option at the time that you could get on an Outback Wilderness. Seemed like a really, really good deal. Again, we didn't need a full hardcore off-roader, but did just want a vehicle that was good in all weather conditions and all road types, and would give my wife a little bit more room than her 2017 RAV4, especially now that we have a baby. So overall, we're very, very happy with this purchase. And overall, very happy with the driving dynamics of this vehicle. Again, it's not a body-on-frame boxy SUV, and as a result of that, it drives a lot more like a car because it kind of is a new version of a station wagon. You know, the Outback overall is a wagon. It's not a lifted SUV, and there's a lot of pros to that. Again, it rides much better. It does have independent suspension in all 4 corners, and also the fuel economy is much, much better. So overall, we've been getting right around 25 miles to the gallon with you know, almost 12,000 miles on the clock, which is really, really good. This is the turbocharged engine here in Outback Wilderness, and it is paired with a CVT, which was a little bit of a concern of ours. You know, we've never had a Subaru vehicle, never had a boxer engine, never had a CVT transmission, and you hear all the horror stories about how it's so rubber bandy, and a turbo engine only makes that you know, so much worse, and it's just not very responsive. But overall, it's been really, really good. The torque curve is great on this vehicle, and it is pretty peppy, and it really doesn't leave us wanting any more. Now, again, we're using this vehicle as basically a commuter and to take our kid to daycare. So, you know, we're not on the Autobahn trying to, you know, really tear it up or really carve any back roads. But overall, it is a really good driving experience, and it does have really good power when you're on the interstate. We also live in a really hilly area. So, you know, again, going back to our old RAV4, every time you hit a small hill, that being an anemic 4-cylinder that was not turbocharged, it would shift and kind of gear hunt and that sort of thing until you got to the top of the hill, and then it would kick back down, and you just keep going through that same process. Here with this CVT and with the turbocharged engine, you do have a lot more passing power, a lot more torque, and overall a really good driving experience. So we've been really happy with it. So a huge criticism of this car from other reviewers is this screen setup. It's never going to be as intuitive as your smartphone, and honestly I think manufacturers know that, and that's why everybody's jumping on board with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. But it is good enough. It does have a regular old volume knob, a regular tuning knob. It does have shortcuts for your temperature controls, even though all that is done through the screen. So overall, not that bad. And again, I don't drive this vehicle every day, but jumping in, I still know where everything is. Now you may have heard that beep there. This is a very vocal car. Anytime you get too close to one of the lines, here we'll do it now, it does say lane departure. It does warn you anytime it can't find the lines or anytime you get too close to another vehicle. And while that can be a little bit of annoying, it can all be turned off as well. So overall, not too big of a deal. And you know the vehicle does have good intentions. It is just trying to protect you. But it can be a little bit noisy there. You can see we do have a little bit of a different screen layout than what we had when we first purchased the vehicle. So this was an update that can be done at your dealer for the earlier Outback Wilderness customers. And I believe all the newer ones actually come like this, but it does give you some nice little shortcuts. Gives you a good shortcut there for the auto vehicle hold feature, as well as the heated seats. You don't have to go through any kind of menu. You just tap it for your different settings there. Now, a few other things that we noticed, not that the air conditioning system is inadequate in this vehicle, but we do find that compared to some of the other vehicles that we ride in frequently, we do actually end up with the setting set lower. So if you're normally riding around at 72 degrees, in this vehicle sometimes we're at 68. Like I said, it always does keep up even with the summer weather, but it's just one thing we noticed. Moving back here, still not a huge fan of the piano black plastic, but overall it is pretty minimal here in the Outback Wilderness, and it has been a great vehicle for us. Also, you can see here we do have the cord. Again, with this being a 2022, we don't have some of the latest Outback Wilderness features, so we don't have the wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, but overall the cord works just fine. So since I am in charge of upgrading the vehicle and maintaining the vehicle. Just to touch on this really quick, I know this probably isn't why you clicked on the video, but the oil filter's right up here, 4.7 quarts to fill it up with this turbo engine. Again, Outback Wilderness only comes with the turbo, which you could get the turbo engine in an XT Outback otherwise. But overall, a super easy oil change, very simple here. The intercooler lives right up top, and it is a bit of a bug catcher. I just try to open the hood every couple weeks and shop vac all of that off there just to keep everything clean. You really want to be careful with those fins as to not bend them up. But overall, it sucks a ton of air in through this scoop and dumps it right there over top the intercooler, and it does bring some bugs in with it. Another thing that we upgraded here on the vehicle is we did not have any kind of large mud flaps. We did go with rock blocks here on this vehicle, and I'm very happy with them. They installed really easily, no drilling required, and they are kind of stiff so they don't flop around on the interstate, but it does help to keep the vehicle a lot cleaner. Again, we live on roads where they're not paved, not maintained all that well, and it does keep a lot of the mud off of that beautiful white pearly paint. So thank you very much for watching, guys. What is your take on the Subaru Outback Wilderness? Would you buy this vehicle? Do you actually drive one already? And do you like it? Do you think it's a good model for Subaru? Again, thank you guys very much for watching. Have a fantastic week, everybody. We'll catch you next time.